Alright, so this video is about interfacing for the very beginners who have never used interfacing before. Please do not feel intimidated. It is a very simple thing. So basically interfacing is this material, and it's what makes the hat so sturdy. So I suggest a medium weight interfacing. I will put the interfacing that I suggest that you can find at most craft stores below right here. But you can use a medium weight, iron-on, it has to be iron-on, or a heavyweight will work. It doesn't really matter which one you get as long as it's a medium iron-on interfacing. You are going to use your pattern to cut trace on your quilt and cut out your brim. So you have your cutout brim piece, 2 layers of interfacing, and then your cotton lining. And then you're going to use your cone pattern to cut out your cone. I'm using a cotton material for my cone and 2 layers of interfacing. If you're using a cotton fabric for your cone, you want to use 2 layers of interfacing. If you're using a quilt, you can just use 1 for the cone. And I am also using a cotton lining for my cone, although this is completely optional. So you're going to take all your pieces to your ironing board, and starting with the brim, lay it upside down like this, and then we're going to take the iron side of our interfacing, and I just line up the headband, and then we're going to iron that on. I start around the headband first to make sure that it irons on mostly even. It does not need to be perfect like that. That's fine. That's going to happen because we just cut a bunch of circles, and yeah, it's hard to cut circles. And then this is what it looks like. Again, don't worry if it's not perfect. It's all going to be evened out when we sew it together. You want to iron your cotton lining. Then we're going to set this aside, and then we're going to do the exact same thing but to the cone. You're going to put the front of your fabric, your quilt or your cotton like mine, face down, and then you're going to line up your interfacing like that, and then iron it on, and then put your second layer on and iron that on very well. Oh, also, I should have put this earlier. I have my iron on 6, which is cotton, I believe. Yep. Put this aside, and then we're going to iron our cone lining. Next, you're going to take your temporary adhesive. I use quilt basting spray or whatever this is. It's important that it's temporary because you might need to move your lining around. I do this outside because it could be messy. So you want to take your quilt brim, this side, and you want to spray the interfacing side very liberally with this. And this is what that looks like. It's kind of hard to do at this angle, but I'm trying. Hold on. Here we go. Okay. And you want to get it really good. Go heavy. Just all over. Okay, so we're gonna lay this down, and then we're gonna take our lining, and we're just going to try to lay it over and match it up to the headband as much as possible. And that was pretty good. And this is what that looks like. And you want to make sure there's as little wrinkles as possible. We could also iron these out, but this is what it looks like. It's not perfect, but we'll take care of all of this when we sew. And then you're going to do the same thing to your cone. You're going to spray the interfacing. This part is optional. You don't necessarily need to line your cone because no one's going to see this part, but I like to do it. All right, and this is what our pieces look like. And then I like to go over it one more time with the iron. Just iron the lining on well. And then you want to cut all of the excess off, and you want to follow the quilt piece, your top piece. So we're going to just cut all this excess off and a little bit right here. And then you want to even out your cone. Again, you want to even it out according to your top piece. So we're just going to cut the excess off like that. And here are our pieces. They are ready to be sewn. So go to the next video on my channel to sew it together.